Welcome, keeping it real. What I'm going to quickly talk to you about is how to join the British Army as a Jamaican, whether you're in the country or outside of the country, and also for Commonwealth as well. So whether you're in Africa, like for instance Ghana, or out in the Caribbean, yeah, countries that part of the British Commonwealth. So my experience and how I joined the British Army. So I expressed my interest by going to one of the career centers because I saw an advert on the TV saying be the best, and saw a lot more videos, and I think that yeah, I can do it. But at the time I was going to college, so I decided to um, finish college, then yeah, join the express my interest of joining the British Army. So I went down to one of the career centers, spoke to one of the recruiters. The recruiters point me in many different directions to go and have a chat with the Royal Navy, the Air Force, or another representative from the British Army as well. So you've got the three service there, all of them trying to give you their, the ins and outs of what they do. But the British Army, joining the infantry, that's all more applicable to me. Right there and then, I got the application, filled in the application, get it returned, and then they got back to me because you got to do some sort of medical assessment. So I went to my doctors, did the medical assessment, happy, passed that medical assessment. So the next bit is to do some assessment and also bring my maths and English and other past subjects that I've done in school. They would like to see evidence of that. And also I had to do some a aptitude test, maths and English, engineering, and mental ability, and some other little tests there. Once you pass that, then they will give you a score, and then that score can tell you what jobs you can apply for, essentially. So I always just stick to my gun, the first thing that I wanted, because I didn't want to divert. I just want to stay focused on what I initially come in there for and what I want to do. So join infantry. So yeah, passed that test. So then I think it was like a couple months afterwards, the recruiter, during that couple months, the recruiter staying in contact, gave me like an insight of how I need to prepare and what I need to do. And I go away, follow those guidelines, did that. And by that time, I should go through the assessment center down in Litchfield. And now I think it moved down to Purbright. I can't remember how many days. I think I went down there for 3 to 4 days max. And I don't know if they still do the same. So the first day you arrive, you go through a series of briefing, and then you will then do a number of assessments where you do a run or a bleep test. You have to score at a certain point, but during your application process, they will give you all of the insight on what you need to achieve in order for you to pass that. During that assessment, again, the 3-day assessment, you do a command task. They just want to see you work as a team. How can you communicate effectively without disrespecting or being aggressive? Yeah, see how you communicate effectively with each other and how well you bond with strangers, because you may have to work with people that you never know, or you just meet from different unit or different army, so to speak. So and then they go through some other little lessons, see how much you can retain, and you do a little written assessment at the end of that lesson. Also, you do a medical. Yeah, so you do another medical on that 3-day assessment. Once you pass all of that, then you will have a final interview. And with the final interview, they may ask a question: why do you want to join the British Army? Simple thing like that. And you got to be like quite clear and understand why you want to join. You don't want to say something like, "Oh, I want to to do? Do you want to kill people or something like that? You know what I mean? Because that will be a no. Right? You'll just get barred straight away. So make sure think about your reason why. For me, the reason why I wanted to join is to travel and experience new culture, something along that line. And once you pass that, and then they will contact you when you get they will give you an available date to start your initial training, which is your phase 1 training. If you're infantry, you will go down to ITC Catricks, somewhere down in Yorkshire, I think, or I can't quite remember. These are Darliston, somewhere along down them sides. If you're non-infantry, then you would train either at Purbright, Winchester, or Harrogate. So whether you're joining cyber engineer, clerk, RLC driver, engineering, whatever, it's non-infantry, that's where they will train. If you're joining up as an officer, then you undertake a 12-month training down at Sandhurst. I think it's Camberley or Frimley. Sandhurst. That's where they do theirs. Can't remember what exact their location. But all of this information, you can find it on the British Army website. This is not a recruitment piece for the British Army. I'm just giving you just an insight of how I join and the different routes that people take along there. Also, junior, one thing I forget, during your application phase, if you've got any maths and English, also bring them with you, or any past subjects, just bring them with you, because they will need to see them depending on what you put on your application form. So once you complete your phase 1 training, then you then move on to your trade training. So if you're infantry, you carry on doing infantry stuff. If you're engineering, then you will learn about engineering in great details, if that makes sense. Or if you join in the Royal Army Air Corps, then same again, you undergo their sort of training. So once you complete phase 2 training, then you go to your regiment. When you get to your regiment, then you still have to undergo some sort of standard operation procedure, SOPs sort of training. So therefore you can fit in either in a platoon, section, company, or squadron. So wherever you're going to work. I don't know, I can't remember if they're still taking people and put them in senior company, because the senior companies, if you're infantry, you tend to they tend to send you to a rifle platoon first, or a rifle company, right? And then you go into a platoon, and then in a section, regardless. So you will go to a rifle company. So when you go to a rifle company, that's how you can earn your seniority. You get to know your way around the whole regimental life, so to speak. And more when you become a senior now, then you able to either go to support company. Support company, you can join reconnaissance platoon, or sniper platoon, javelin platoon, guns platoon, anti-tank platoon, or mortar platoon. So it's more like these guys, they can be trusted, they can work independently, and they won't mess things up. But the newbies, they always send them to a rifle company first for them to start learning the basics well. So that's just a brief insight of joining the British Army if you're in the UK. Right, if you're overseas, the only thing is different is if you're overseas, whether you're from Ghana or Jamaica or anywhere in the Caribbean, and your country is part of the Commonwealth, you have to go online and apply. Before you do that, make sure you have got someone in the country that can sponsor you. So you've got to have someone within the UK to sponsor you, right? And I know that it will cost. I know it costs a lot of money to get the visas, to buy a plane fare, to go through the medical. Depending on what country you're from, it will, it's different. I can't tell you all the prices, but you have to go and do your own research, and all of this is all online. And then once you come over, then your sponsor will help you to get to wherever training institute or the assessment centers or wherever you need to go. But most important thing is you're going to need a sponsor within the country, just in case if anything goes wrong, then they can be the point of contact also. And just in you need any help with anything or get in contact with family back home, then they also can help. But the British Army is pretty swept up on these things, so they're all agency plan, meaning that what if the relationship breaks down between you and your sponsor, then they have got your next of kin that they can contact, if that makes sense. But that is the only difference. One guy I spoke to that joined up from Ghana, it cost him between £5,000, or probably less than that, probably £3,000, including ticket and where he was staying, because he had to pay rent at the sponsor house where his stuff was at. So it can be a bit different, and different experience for different personnels that's joining. So make sure you planned it out really well, right? So therefore it doesn't cost you arm and a leg to join the British Army, where you put your parents in debt, and also owing people whilst you go into the training. So for the next episode, I'm going to talk to you about my experience as a Jamaican in the British Army, and some good and some bad stuff, and really some really fun stuff. Please feel free to comment below. Please subscribe and share the message, because I want to help other people who has got the aspiration, want to join. And if you want me to go into a bit more details, I can go into a bit more detail, but this is just like a broad overview of how you can join and the entry points you can use to join, whether you're inland or you out in somewhere in the Commonwealth countries. Feel free to hit me up on my Instagram also. I will put a link in the description below, so just click on it and then you can fire your question, or you can just direct message me, and I'm really happy to help. And if I get like a big ton of questions, then I will then try and answer them within a video. I hope that helps, and have a lovely day.